What's up, folks? This is Richard Hake with Zenny62. I'm in uptown Oakland. I gotta watch out for what I'm saying here because downtown's different. Anyways, I'm in uptown and just kind of wanted to talk about what's up with Oakland right now. I know a lot of folks have stayed clear of the city, and there's a lot of good reason to do so. COVID-19 has shut a lot of stuff down, and Oakland's been we're always in the news for social justice issues, and 2020 has been full of them for great reason. Everything from George Floyd to the various other instances of police violence all over the country. We're seeing it everywhere, and in support of those other cities, as well as anti-Trump protests. I believe I was here about a year ago for Kamala Harris, who's now Vice President-elect Kamala Harris. I'm pretty proud to say that my Vice President is from not just the city I was born in literally in the same hospital that I was born in. And whether you like her policies or not, and I can't agree with her on everything, I think that's pretty awesome. So, Washington has never been as close to home as it feels right now. So that's pretty cool. But I wanted to give you guys an idea of what's going on down here. Because Oakland looks very different. And what you see on the news is usually Oakland in a negative light. The president even went so far as to, point out Oakland as being some bastion of communist whatever. I don't know. It's all propaganda. But Oakland's very different than what the news paints it as. And when all we see is the negative, when all we see is not really the protests, but we see the rioting, and the negative stuff with protests, rioting, police fighting back, agitating the police and agitating other protesters. That makes us look bad, and that's really the only thing that we see in Oakland. But Oakland is alive, and Oakland's changing whether we like it or not. For better or for worse, Oakland is changing. And what we don't see that change, at least not up close. We might see it from far away. We might see the skyline looking a little different these days. We might see some cranes. And just driving through Oakland, I was noticing things that I hadn't seen before. So I'm gonna give you guys an idea here. Just in the recent year or so, the skyline's changed. We got new buildings. I believe these are luxury townhouses, but 17th and Broadway. We see a lot of this outdoor dining. This is the Woods Beer Company. It was something else before. It was some sort of eatery, and then before, but it was definitely not this. But then you have what we see here. We see a lot of boarded up businesses. That's not what we're used to seeing in Oakland, and unfortunately this is a very common sight. But here we have this entire part of Telegraph here from 17th all the way down to where it intersects at Broadway. Some cars going to pass here. It's completely shut off to traffic, and it's open for dining for some of the various restaurants and eateries in here. Sorry, I'm just trying not to get hit by cars as they're coming down the street here. I'm gonna cross here, hopefully safely. We're just gonna give you guys a short walk here with me. I think I'm walking this street, but you see all this. This is not the natural look of this building. This is the Dogwood. It's a little gastropub, if you will. You know, these are windows that are boarded up, but painted over. Try and dress it up a little bit. But then we have a little parklet for outdoor dining. It looks like a bunch of old crates or wood pallets that have been reconditioned or reused. And we have some covering. I can't get back far enough. And some covered areas to stay within the local ordinances about outdoor dining. So with COVID on the rise, COVID on the rise, a lot of places. I know Contra Costa and possibly Alameda County have been or will be rolling back into. Well, we have these different. We have purple, red, orange, and I think in yellow are the levels. This is a Cafe Van Cleef, and then next door, there's it's the building here. They're all boarded up. But with COVID on the rise, these restrictions that were previously being rolled back and letting people congregate in larger numbers, now they're going back. Gyms are back to 10%. A lot of restaurants, indoor dining is limited to 25%. And some restaurants don't have the luxury of having outdoor dining areas and that sort of thing. So these little boxed off parklets are a big deal. I see a lot of these like in you see a lot of this stuff in places like New York, where and you're starting to see it in San Francisco, where they're taking busy thoroughfares, closing them down to traffic, and opening them up to pedestrians and outdoor dining. Not just dining, but in some of these places, they're outdoor performers. We haven't seen it here yet, but you'll have outdoor performers and outdoor dining, and then you'll see like little kiosks of like tents and stuff with people selling stuff. I've seen that in other places, so I can only imagine that's coming here. But I'm trying to get down to 12th Street here. I'm a couple blocks away, but I'm going to show you over here. Most of these businesses on Broadway, boarded up. People are still rioting, if you will. I mean, there definitely is a lot of vandalism still, as much as the protesting has died down. There are definitely some bad actors out there, and we would be remiss to if we said that this was all the fault of some protests. Protesters aren't doing all this. It's, you've heard the stories. Again, bad actors, whether they're white supremacists or anarchists or what, it's a little bit of everything. But, skaters over there, got skateboarders. These guys are loving having, the street to themselves. Nobody's here to kick them out. I feel for them. I used to skate when I was a kid. So you see all this, but you don't see what's really going on around here. And when you go down around Franklin and stuff, you're seeing a ton of construction. Again, more. I think I feel safe enough to be out here. We're seeing a lot of murals and so forth, kind of hiding the fact that these are boarded up businesses and boarded up windows. A lot of these places are still open. They're just not taking their stuff down. There's a lot of really cool murals and art that's happening down here. Here's another parklet. You can't really see these letters, Black Lives Matter. It's painted up the street here. And then we have another little area here for eating. Real quick though, I always like to come by here. This is my buddy Dewey Tucker, amazing bass player. He was a young dude. He was murdered a few years back. He was a mistaken identity. Somebody thought he was some other guy in Vallejo. He was driving across the Carquinez Bridge, got shot while he was driving, coming through like Crockett and Rodeo. It took years for them to find whoever killed him, but he played with like Erykah Badu and a few others. Like I said, I think he was like 24, 25. We worked together, we played together, and it's a nice little mural for him. I appreciate whoever did that. But here we go. We're on Franklin now. Like I said, I'm kind of moving down, and you see all these businesses boarded up. They're still open. There's still action here. You can still get a sandwich, you know. But underneath all of this, you're missing some important stuff, which is construction. A lot of these buildings are they're keeping the facade and gutting the insides, and then they're going to build above it and remodel the entire thing, which is cool. I mean, it kind of keeps you locked into the downtown, you know, into the spirit of, you know, the architecture and keeping that old look while still having to grow. Oakland has a big problem with, you know, housing. There's not enough of it. The market is super expensive. But you know, if you just look around, you can start seeing scaffolding. We have this building. They're about to start adding up onto it. You know, this is unfortunate. Look, you would think that this town is just broken and lost. You know, these are the sights you would see, you know, in movies of old Detroit and you know, just run down ghettos, and that's not what is happening here. You get out of that glare. You know, as blighted as Oakland might be at appearances, Oakland's vibrant and it's growing. And you know, there are a lot of people who are just waiting for a chance to take part in growing Oakland. And hopefully the leaders of the city realize that and embrace it and work together to affect that change. You know, not just housing, but, you know, business. The unfortunate part about COVID-19 is it really has affected business. I'm gonna stop walking here for a second. Even large name brand restaurants and retailers have been shutting down. So if a multi-million-dollar corporation is hurt by what's happening, you have to imagine how a very small business is being hurt. They don't have the capital to weather 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 months of God, that thing's a little chirpy. They don't have, you know, that kind of capital to weather 3/4 of a year of being out of business completely, or minimal business. And that's what a lot of places are. They're at minimal business. 10%'s not cutting it. Raising prices, having to forego paying their rent or paying employees. That's hard. And so that's one of the things we're seeing. But with failure of business creates opportunity for business for others. It's not always best to have that glass half empty thing as much as it is. You also have to recognize for somebody else it's the glass half full or completely full. I want to kind of show you what's going on here. We got another new building. It's another high-rise. This is Atlas. And there's more. There's more coming. Little sushi place. I walked past this one. Where we at? We're on Webster. I see some construction going on in here. So, an opportunity for somebody. There's one place in particular I wanted to come by when I get there, which was on 12th Street. Again, you're not seeing a lot going on right now. A lot of construction. A lot of the parking is broken because of these. So we got another little eating area here. See, that's taking up 4 or 5 parking spots. There's another one over here. This little place here. They've got their little dining setup. Sorry, I'm going around too fast. The opportunities. But I'd love to see some more affordable housing coming in here, because a lot of these look like they're going to be luxury stuff. But here we got, another closed down business. That's unfortunate. But again, if we look at it in a different light, it's an opportunity for somebody else. So I'm almost to where I was going. We're at 13th here. And then wanted to show you this one area where at first sight you're like, oh, it's just more businesses, but it's completely gutted. Again, you're going to see more construction. There's all kinds of stuff going on. It's the other side. More construction. There's a whole construction yard here, the trailers and everything. This area here is being, all redone. I'm gonna try and get across the street here. We're at 13th and Webster right now. Today's Saturday, and stuff's still busy. People are still working, making stuff happen. So we got notice of construction, 344 13th Street. So, stuff's coming down here. And you're finding a lot of this where there's new construction, old construction, remodeling. We got the old Fillmore here. Construction entry, level 13. Anyways, I'm getting off of where I wanted to go to. We're gonna bounce back here to Webster, because I want to take you down to 12th Street. But yeah, if you're paying attention, in the last year or so, the skyline is very different in Oakland. A lot of cranes. There's some stuff going further down Broadway. Got the old Tribune Tower. Remember when Tribune Tower was like the tallest thing in Oakland? It's not even close anymore. Yeah, more construction. Yeah, Oakland is growing. You know, there's business to be done here. There's business to be had here. It's a growing city, a growing population. Unfortunately, you know, the side effect of this growth is gentrification. You know, Oakland is it's pretty well known. It's a predominantly black city. You know, it's like Atlanta and Baltimore and DC. You know, this was built on the backs of black people, working class folks, and it's tough to see a city like this have to change so much. It's weird too, where you walk in some places, and there's just you know, you don't see any more black people. You see young white people. So this is what I was. Oh, here where I got. So we got these businesses here on 12th, and they're all boarded up and everything. But you look inside, and they're completely gutted. And they're building the skeleton, if you will, to build more and build up. So whatever comes here will be the old facade, and then something above, and then right across the street, more construction, brand new housing. You know, and this is at between Harrison and Webster on 12th Street, on both sides of the street. And you know, and it goes down. You know, and you see more construction yard stuff, storage. You know, stuff's going on in Oakland. You know, don't let anybody tell you that, you know, it's not a thriving city. It's not a growing city, full of hoods and criminals and whatever else. There's a lot of progress being made here. Another thing you might notice are now these specialty bus stops, similar to what you see in San Francisco. I'm gonna try and go across the street to give you a better view. I'm just gonna try and wait for the traffic to die down here. So you have these. They're littered all across the city. If you go down Fruitvale, what is that? Not Foothill, but International. They've put these down the entire middle of the street. I'm gonna see if I can quickly get across here. Which is pretty cool. You're gonna start seeing a lot of San Francisco-esque sort of things, like you're starting to see bus lanes and taxi lanes for them only. So it means you can't drive your car here. You're starting to see a lot of streets being closed off to car traffic. You're starting to see very specific bicycle lanes where they are separated from regular traffic. You know, it's progress. And we got some more construction here. Oh, it's the same building. So what is that? Webster 11. Yeah, a lot is happening in this little town, and I've only gone 4 blocks. You know, so there's a lot going on here. And again, the media wants to paint a picture where Oakland's full of a bunch of criminals and thugs, and that's just bad media. Sensationalism. It's ugly and it's false. You know. And I think, given the economic situation between COVID and maybe the opportunities afforded by protest, you know, protest does change things, changes your ideas, and maybe even gets as far as changing how business is done, how government is run, and people will come to that. People will see that change and In a way, they want to capitalize on it, and that's understandable. But they also want to be a part of it. So, that'll bring business here. That'll bring commerce here. That'll bring people here, to live here, to build here. And I think that's great for Oakland. There's a lot to be done in this town. And there's a lot of great stuff here that it's untapped potential, untapped creativity. I think it's just the beginning. I think people are finally coming out of it. People are leaving San Francisco because it's become too expensive. It's lost its soul. And they're coming to places like Oakland. Oakland is still relatively affordable. Oakland's, I always got that guy. Oakland still got some soul, still got some personality, and I think that's going to draw people here. And so I guess get in now while you can before it gets too expensive. Yeah, I just kind of wanted to show you what's going on down here. I've walked about a 4x4 block area, and we see a lot of, like I said, construction, a lot of boarded up businesses, more businesses boarded up. But if you poke your head in, some of these businesses are actually open, doing well, and just waiting for all this to subside so they can get back to life as normal and grow. And hopefully that happens sooner than later. There are a couple of vaccines for COVID-19 coming. Hopefully having new leadership will change some things. The winter and fall were always kind of a make or break point for COVID-19, because we started basically in the late winter and early spring. So the numbers are shooting up right now. More positive tests, of course, a lot of that is because there is more testing. But we're also seeing that the spread is out of control in some places. Now it's starting to overwhelm hospitals, overwhelm the system that's in place, and it's not a pretty picture. So hopefully we see some leadership here soon, and somebody does something. I would think that another large-scale shutdown is imminent, and who knows how much more of this will change between now and then. Like I said, between the social unrest here and political unrest in Oakland, it's definitely changed the landscape. Oh, hey, look, it's another building. 12th and Broadway. So I'm gonna cut this short. I got another spot I want to go check out. I'm gonna go head over to the Lake Merritt area, see what's going on over there. But just want to give you kind of a picture of what's going on down here in downtown and uptown Oakland. If you get a chance, come out here. Like I said, a lot of restaurants are still open. Hopefully live entertainment will be back soon, and we can get back to business as usual. It's still probably going to be a few months, but don't take us off your list. Oakland's getting bigger and better all the time. So maybe I'll see you guys hopefully in a few minutes from Lake Merritt, and if not, we'll see you around. Take care, guys.